Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Zach and I'm coming at you with fire and ferment, and today we're going to be making kombucha. Stick around. So I've been brewing kombucha at home now for a few years, and it is one of my favorite things to do. Kombucha consists of a SCOBY, which stands for Symbiotic Colony of Bacteria and Yeast, along with sweet tea and whatever flavoring you choose. The history of kombucha is somewhat unclear, but it is felt that the original culture dates back over 2,000 years and originated somewhere in East Asia. Every single culture of kombucha that exists today actually stems from that original colony. It is unknown how it was originally made, but it very likely was made by accident, similar to other types of fermented foods and beverages. Kombucha allows for tremendous amounts of creativity, as you can flavor it with virtually any fruit, vegetable, or herb combination you want. If you brew it at home, you can also make large quantities for cheap, which means if you buy a lot of kombucha from the store, you'll actually end up saving money by brewing it yourself. Come on this journey with me today and learn ways to unlock your kombucha home brewing potential. Alright, so first off, you're going to want to get your hands on a SCOBY. My suggestion would be to find a reputable source online and purchase from there. You could also probably buy a SCOBY from a local kombucha brewery or get one from a friend you trust. I will say it's possible to make your own SCOBY from a raw, unflavored, unpasteurized bottle of kombucha you get at the store. Although I've never personally done this and I can't really guarantee it's going to go that well. I use the continuous brewing method, where I have a continuous, ongoing culture of a half of a gallon of kombucha at the bottom of my brewing jar. It's ready to ferment the sweet tea whenever I want to make it. On your first go, you'll need to follow a slightly different process, where you use at least 4 cups of SCOBY or strong starter per gallon of sweet tea. And then with subsequent batches, you can start the continuous brewing path that I will be showing you in this video.
We will be making roughly 2 gallons of kombucha, and I have links to the equipment I am using below so that you can easily follow my method. Keep in mind, this can be scaled up or scaled down accordingly. We will begin by measuring roughly 12 cups of water, doesn't have to be exact, and bringing it to a boil. If you are starting with tap water, as I do, it's not a bad idea to boil this for a few minutes so the chlorine completely boils out. Then, take the water off of the burner and let it sit for 90 seconds so the temperature of the water reduces enough so that you don't burn your tea. After 90 seconds, add 10 tea bags or equivalent amounts of loose leaf tea and let it steep for 20 minutes. We are making this tea very strong, and then we will be diluting it down to the appropriate strength. While you are waiting on your tea to steep, go ahead and rinse out a big glass jar that can hold 1.5 to 2 gallons. Be sure to clean it with non-antibacterial soap and rinse all of the soap out. Put 1.5 cups of cane sugar into the bottom of your vessel, followed by 2 to 3 cups of cold filtered or bottled drinking water. The addition of cold water at this stage is important so the hot tea doesn't shatter your glass when you pour it in. I have been there. Trust me, do not skip this step. After 20 minutes of steeping, pull out your spent tea bags or loose leaf tea and pour the strong tea into the jar along with the sugar. Mix this for a couple of minutes to dissolve all of the sugar. Then, top off the sweet tea with cold filtered or bottled water up to 1.5 gallons in volume. The water has to be cold in order to reduce the temperature of the liquid to below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything above this, you will risk killing off your culture when you add them together. Mix again. Take the sweet tea and go to your brew vessel. Wash your hands with non-antibacterial soap and rinse well. Pour in your 1.5 gallons of sweet tea to your 1/2 gallon of starter liquid, totaling roughly 2 gallons brewed per batch. Put a clean towel on top and secure with a large rubber band. Make sure you can see the towel underneath the rubber band on all sides. This will protect your brew from fruit flies and will also allow any gases from fermentation to escape. As you can see, I have a heat wrap around the side of my container. Kombucha is a tropical ferment and prefers to be in a warmer environment, and a heat wrap on high heat will get you there. Wait 10 to 14 days until your kombucha is ready to bottle, and you will need to try the kombucha daily after about 10 days until you subjectively determine it is the appropriate mix of sweet and tart. This determination is purely a skill that you have to learn, but practice makes perfect. There really is no right or wrong answer, it just depends on how sweet versus tart you want the final product. As it ferments, you will notice the pellicle forming on top. Make sure there is no mold forming on top of the pellicle. Mold will appear as dry, fuzzy, and colorful. Pellicles can normally be anywhere from white to brown in color and can look funky, but actually be okay and healthy. If you have any doubt if it's mold or not, it is helpful to look at pictures of a moldy kombucha pellicle online and compare. Remember, when in doubt, throw it out. Once you have achieved the perfect balance between sweet and tart, it is time to bottle. Determine your desired flavor combinations and get these ready. Fruits work very well, and this is another opportunity for the internet to be your friend and give you flavoring ideas. You can chop, juice, blend, or cook down your flavoring ingredients. Just make sure they are fresh. Bottled juices are okay too, as long as they do not contain any preservatives. I prefer fresh ingredients, juiced and poured into the bottom of the bottles. Make sure you're using bottles that are meant to be carbonated. Pressure-rated, round, swing-top bottles are perfect, and I have linked a description below. Do not use square bottles as they are more likely to explode. Glass is best as it won't react with the acidity of the kombucha. Wash your hands with non-antibacterial soap. Reach into your brew vessel, stir with your hand to agitate, and mix any of the cellular components that have settled to the bottom. Fill the bottles on top of the flavoring with your freshly brewed kombucha, leaving 1/2 to 1 inch of headspace. Going up to the wire bail of the swing top is a good idea. This will help reduce the risk of carbon dioxide gas buildup and explosions. With this volume, you will probably make somewhere between 8 to 10 bottles of kombucha. Keep filling until you have 1/2 gallon of kombucha remaining at the bottom of your brew vessel. Then repeat this process with each subsequent batch. Place the bottles in a warm, dark place out of direct sunlight so that they can bottle condition and carbonate over the next several days. Placing Christmas lights on top of them is a good idea to help create this warm environment. Every day, burp a bottle and test the carbonation level. You want the kombucha to start rising out of the bottle due to the pressure buildup when you open the lid. Once you have achieved this level of carbonation, place in the fridge, which will stop further carbonation. When it is chilled, pour into a glass and enjoy.
That's how we make kombucha at fire and ferment. Be sure to subscribe and smash that like button. I love you guys, and stick around.